Greeting classmates from PE 570. This is Roberto Aguilar. So the response to evaluating my school in terms of compliance with scheduling transportation, a lot of it was actually very eye opening. As in, I'm currently an all sport coach for a private middle school, and I was seeing a lot of the issues that were revealed in this topic, and some of it is actually very, like I said, it's very eye opener, due to many issues that are good in terms of compliance, and some that were often that we really haven't addressed really well with the athletic director. So, as far as scheduling, one of the things that we are in compliance with is scheduling of a lot of practices. So, for example, in seasons, we have there are several seasons for each sport. So, right now that was fall. We're focusing on football and volleyball. So, for as far as volleyball, we're able to use the neighborhood park, which the athletic director has several agreements with the park, and we're allowed to use their facility as in terms of volleyball for the girls, so they can practice and schedule anything. And of course, we have agreements where parents sign. We have them all scheduled out so that they could borrow their facilities on several days, which they practice only like 3 days out of the week, and the other 2 days we take them off so that there won't be any conflict with scheduling of park tournaments and anything else that they need to use it for. And as far as football boys, same. We use their local park, their grass area. Same with agreements signed by their parents, so that we could so that the boys can are allowed to practice there, and we change it off as many times as possible. Same. We schedule it on days that the park is not being used for any venues within any several sports, such as football of their own league, baseball, or anything else. So as far as scheduling, that's how we handle it. And the league in which we play in are the one that give us the schedule so that we can schedule each tournament based on our availability. So some of the availability that the athletic directors put are based on, for example, any testing or anything that's going on. We try to focus a lot of the tournaments around Saturdays so that the students have enough time to focus on their schoolwork in the morning and during the week, and focus the games on 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 the weekends. And for the girls, we try to do the same thing. They probably have one game during the week, and the other games during the weekend. As far as transportation, we this is one of the periods in which right now we're out of compliance with transportation, and the reason being because in the past we had a van that was able to carry majority of the athletic teams to and from games. But since a lot of the games lately have been scheduled during the weekends, one of the ways in which we're out of compliance is we haven't really figured out a way or a method to transport the kids when their parents can't take them, meaning that many of the times a lot of the kids are traveling with other parents. And one of the ways in which we're out of compliance with this is that the athletic director hasn't figured out a method in which the parents of that kid that is traveling with the other parent has the information of that certain parent that's driving them, the information, anything that has to do with the vehicle, and areas in which are very necessary in case of emergency or anything that pops up. So this is a compliant issue that I have taken into consideration thanks to this chapter. And I have talked to the athletic director so that we can try to figure out a way in which we won't get ourselves into any trouble, because this is a huge issue. We actually just started the season, so it's something that we have our eyes open to. And as far as officials, since it is a middle school, one of the things that Blackburn states is that for middle schools they could use lay officials, and that is something that we use. We're not required to have officials who are certificated and above anything else. We could use lay officials, and if we have a certain refs, then that's certainly okay. Again, this is sent out by the league in which we are paid in, and the athletic directors are in charge of balancing the budget so that each game that we play, we could pay the officials their amount, and they could ref for our games, so that our game counts as part of the tournament and the season, so that eventually we can get into the playoffs. So that is one of the ways in which uh, our our coaches, our athletic directors on it. And any other issues such as Title IX, right now, one of the biggest ways in which we have worked so much with this one in compliance is allowing girls to play on to we have double gender in each team, so co-ed, and as we may call it, because there's some teams that sometimes the girls don't have enough girls to play with, and we allow them to play with the boys team. For example, there's some girls right now that want to play football because they're not really interested in volleyball. So we allow them to come over to the team and join the team as a co-ed team and allow them to play. The league has several rules for a girl playing in the team, and that involves that if they score there, they will automatically get a the extra points. So we don't need to convert since it is flag football. But that is one of the rules that this league has set out, and it's one of the ways in which we continue on allowing girls the equity of Title IX. So that's one of the ways in which we're compliant. And the same works with any other team. Sometimes we get a team of only soccer boys, but we don't get a soccer girl team. So some of the girls come over to the soccer boys team so that they can um, same play a co-ed team. As far as any specific rules that is added for a soccer team with the girl playing in the co-ed team, there isn't one yet for soccer, but we are figuring out something within the league with the athletic director so that we could keep that compliant. There wouldn't be much issues with the parents and the teams when there's a girl playing there. So it goes the same with every single team. In any issue, we allow them to join our team so that we could have no concerns. So other than that, all the other issues in which we have are really up to date in compliance. The only one that is out of compliance again is just transportation, and this is something that we're still working on with our athletic director, and we want to get it fixed as possible because this is something that we can't allow, especially for the safety of these children. This is we want to keep them as safe as possible, and again we are working to eventually get back that van that allows us to travel the amount of players in the team, or eventually get a service in which we can allow the parents to know who are the kids traveling with, what parent are they going with, especially since us coaches can't drive them. We got to be compliant on this. This is a serious issue that we're working on. And other than that, this is pretty much my school, my athletic program, and I'm happy to be part of it. So thank you very much. I'm looking forward to hearing all of you, and have a wonderful night, and God bless.